Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be Harry Muppet. We are going to be casting Game 4 in a best of 5 series. It is for the Go4SC2 monthly May monthly cup, and it is the grand final series. And down the bottom left side we do have our blue Zerg player Hyun, and he has done an excellent job so far. And down the bottom right side we do have our red Protoss player, Welmu, and he is going to be the red Protoss player. And let's talk about the first 3 games so far. This is game 4. First 3 games, man. Hyun dominating the first two games. First game, 11-minute roach push, did wonders. Welmu just had nothing. The second game, Welmu tried a few things, didn't really work so well. He tried some Phoenix, but Hyun just mixed in some Hydras and still wiped him out. The third game, Welmu finally came back. He did a nice cannon rush on the Zerg player's primary expansion. He did some Immortal play, he did some Dark Templars to wind down the economy of the Zerg player. He managed to get a nice army, and he managed to get the win. And that put him up to 1 game, but Hyun is still 2 games. He's still in the lead. And he's hoping that he's going to win this series 3-1, whereas Welmu is hoping to take it to an ace match. And I've got to say, every single game, the blue player has won. The first 2 games, Hyun was blue, and then in the third game, somehow Welmu was blue. And now, Hyun is blue again, and I guess that means that this is going to be a 3-1 series. If we keep going on like that, I don't know if that's going to be the case. We're just going to have to wait and watch. And here we go. This is a bit of a change in Hyun's starting up strategy. He got the spawning pool quite a bit before the hatchery. Usually he gets the hatchery and then the spawning pool, and he tries to times it so they both come out at the same time, but the spawning pool came out very early. I don't think he's going for early ling pressure, maybe? He only just got the extractor. He would get it a little bit earlier if he was going for like a ling rush or something like that. I don't think he's going for ling rush, but he may indeed be going for early ling pressure. Probably after he gets some economy going down. He hasn't had much luck with that so far. He's gotten in a little bit with the lings, done a little bit of attack, and run around this base like with 2 or 3 lings with half health running around, just hitting probes every now and then. But I mean, Welmu has been pretty on top of his game in terms of chasing him away, and they've never been able to. He's never gotten like 15 lings in here and just wiped out workers left, right, and center. And I don't know if he's going to do it this time, because I mean the Protoss tactic of gating up the front, I mean it's been working fairly well. He hasn't been getting an extremely fast gate. He's not going to get an extremely fast gate this time because he's built his Cybercore and his gateway here already. But then again, the Zerg player is not going to go for super fast lings. You will get him in the next couple of minutes though. We can see ling speed coming down. And 4 games start to catch up with my throat. My voice is starting to go. Yeah, another bit of drink. Thank you very much. My drink is empty. It is gone. So we're going to have a look at this game. Alright, it's not a huge game, so we should be alright to finish it off. And yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll take a break before the 5th game. But let's see exactly what happens so far. We've got a probe coming out now. We've got a couple of lings coming out. Going to be a little bit of harass, but the gate is going to be up. You see 3 gateways. So this is going to be 4 gate going down. It's not an actual 4 gate because he's got 2 bases, but he's going to have quite a lot of... that's a 5th gateway, man. He's going for some very early pressure. He wants to get an early army. That's the only thing I can think of. But is this is another gateway? 6 gate. He is going for a 6 gate off 2 bases. This is going to be hard hitting, man. So he's going for his own 10-minute attack timing thing. And this will definitely be able to counter the roaches. But the question is, what is he going to be able to do against these lings? These lings, they're not stupid. They see the pollen coming down. They perhaps have got to be a little bit more scared, because the only reason you put down a probe this early would be for some sort of 4 gate sort of thing going on. But He is going to be fine here. He's going to be able to put the force field down, kill a lot of lings, so I don't think there's going to be a problem, especially with the mothership core going on. So these lings just get out of there straight away. They can't hope to bust through, especially with this many sentries down on the ground. I don't think it's going to happen. He does have quite a fair amount of lings on the all over the place though. He's getting a nice third base timing going down, so that's fine. We do have the roach warren nearly completed, so he's going to stick with what he knows best, and that is going to be roaches. But yeah, with this large amount of gateways, and with a complete lack of any advanced tech options like a Templar Archives, a Robo Facility, Stargate, we can safely assume that Roach Push isn't going to do as much as it probably could have, because he's not going for advanced tech. He's just going for ground units. He's just going in, going to do some stuff, and he's actually completely closed himself off in there. So he's really going to push out there and really going to make this work. He's got one probe out. He's warping in the gateway. So this is going to be a very hard 6 pull in there, and he's actually got a hallucinated Archon. And I mean, why the hell not? That is going to scare the Zerg, and not only is it going to scare the Zerg, it's going to make the Zerg think that the Protoss has a lot more tech options than he actually does. And that's good, because then the Zerg player is going to think, oh well, he's not going to be able to get out a massive army because he's already got Archon tech, so that's fine. I mean, then I can just afford to push out more bases. But of course the Protoss is fooling him, because he can produce a crap load of ground units and just go for it. But at the end of the day, the question still comes down to, does the Protoss player have enough macro off 2 bases to make a 6 gate work? And I'm not sure if he does. He's got a lot of macro, but he cannot continually produce 6 units out of the gateway. He cannot keep the gateways rolling around continuously. Meanwhile, the Zerg, he's jumping into the mass roach army, and he's starting to overpower the Protoss player. And we'll see exactly what happens here. I think the Protoss should be able to wipe him out, but with continual reinforcements from the Zerg player, and with a third base coming out from the Zerg player, and these roaches are just quite beefy. He does not have the stalker numbers he needs to do the damage he needs. He's just got sentries, and these guys do not do enough damage to really start taking out this many roaches. So very nice push from the Protoss, but sentries and zealots, man, they are not what you need for roaches. You need a large amount of stalkers, and he did not get it. He is not getting it now. He might be able to defend this push, but the Zerg player has basically come up and said, you know what? I am the master of the 11-minute push. You can try an 11-minute push, but it is not going to work, because you are the apprentice and I am the master. Even though they're both in Masters League, as far as he's concerned, Hyun is the master of the 11-minute macro push, and I think after what we've just seen, Welmu will just have to concede that. And I don't know, he's going to get a robo facility, he's going to have to get into Immortal Tech, but with the third base down, the Welmu is not going to have to, he's not going to have a chance of taking this out, I don't think. I just called him the Welmu instead of Welmu, and that is, that's pretty sick actually, calling him the Welmu, because it makes him sound pretty badass, but this title is the only thing that sounds badass at the moment. I think he's the Roach Push man. He built a crap load of roaches, he's sending in a crap load of roaches, and he is going to kill a crap load of Protoss units. He's doing some nice splits with his force fields, but he does not have the DPS to take these units out. And it looks to me like Blue is going to win the game once again. This is going to be a GG, and man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, what can the Protoss player really do? I mean, he eked out a win last game, but he had to do some really crazy plays to manage to eat that out. He did a fast cannon rush, and the Zerg player countered that by getting a fast spawning pull, and then getting a hatchery later, so he had some lings out and a queen out a bit earlier to counter that, and I'm sure that a cannon rush would not have worked as well. He would have had some earlier lings out to hit the pylons down, so that probably would have been fine. And yeah, I mean, unless the Protoss player goes for some sort of crazy fast robo tech, or fast zealot stalker army with speed or something like that, and just really pumps in on the army, I don't know. I don't really know what he can do. He sort of has to commit his entire build to countering the 11 roaches, the 11-minute roach push. And if the Zerg player doesn't counter, it doesn't go 11-minute roaches, then he's kind of hanging out in the wind a little bit. But considering that Hyun did it for like every single game, it probably wouldn't have been that much of a risk to say, you know what, I assume he's going to go for the 11-minute roach and just do a hard counter, like double Robo Bay, mass stalkers out of 6 gateways. I thought that's what he might have done, but instead he got a large amount of sentries and zealots, and it's just not the unit composition you want against roaches. You need stalkers, and stalkers are what you need. He didn't have them, but there we go. I think he was trying to move in and get in there and do some damage before the roaches actually came out, but he didn't do it. He didn't get in there early enough. The Zerg player, he got his roaches out, and yeah, he just did not get in there early enough. And yeah, basically he tried something different, and it just didn't work. The early zealot sentry pressure just did not work. Ideally, I guess what you'd want to do is you would want to get into the expansion here. You'd want to get some sort of proxy pylon over there. You'd want to move in. You'd want to keep this ramp locked down. Meanwhile, wipe out this expansion. And that is very good versus any sort of units. Versus Zealot, versus Lings, and versus Roaches. The Roaches can't get down the ramp. They can't take out your forces. You only have to deal with half the Roaches you normally would. But the Roaches just came out too soon. He was not able to do it. My mouse is slowing down. I think I might be running out of batteries. But no, it's still going. It's still going strong. So, yep, there we go. That should be fine. And this has been Game 4. And Hyun has won it 3-1. The blue is the lucky colour after all. And congratulations to Hyun, the grand final winner of the Go4SC2 monthly May Cup. And he didn't win versus Mental King in the April monthly cup for the Go4SC2, but he has won in May, and congratulations to him for winning all that prize money. Welmu coming runner-up. There's nothing to be ashamed of, and yeah, I can guarantee you this guy is going to spend the next month or so practicing counters for the 11-minute roach push, because right now that is his complete bane, and I'm sure it's the bane of a lot of Protoss and Terran players out there. Actually, Terran, they can do some early Widowmine harass, which does some good stuff, and all the early Marauders as well. But the Protoss, it's a bit harder for them because all they can do is early Stalkers, and Stalkers not good versus Lings, which are extremely easy to get early games. So, what can you say? What can you say? 11-minute roach push, man, is just an absolute nightmare for everybody. There we go. Congratulations to Hyun, and thank you very much for watching this series. Of course, I will be casting some other random game and calling it the 5th game, just so we don't have any spoilers for people who watch the first 2 games, and then they're like, alright, there's 4 games, Hyun won the first 2, it's a best of 5. Let me put 2 and 2 together. I think Hyun wins this tournament. So I'm going to put down a 5th game, and I don't know what it will be yet. It might be me doing ladder, but I don't feel like doing ladder, so maybe it'll be something else. I have a feeling I want to play a custom game. But anyway, I'll talk about that in the next game. Thank you very much for watching. Congratulations to Hyun, as the first game we've seen Welmu in as well. I'm very impressed by his play. He was up against the ropes continuously, but he pulled some cool tricks out, and props to him for doing that. So there we go. Finished. Done. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Hairy Muppet. Please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, because I love subscriptions. I love watching that number go up, and it is awesome. There we go. Thank you very much. This has been Hairy Muppet.